Well, I think that the main way that he mends them, again, don't take the bait, and to get back to the real issues, the things that Americans are concerned about. Because quite frankly, the things that threaten us as a nation, they're not Republican or Democrat issues. They are American issues.
Ben Carson gave Trump one warning. Stop taking the bait. Because he said Democrats cannot win unless they pull him off of the message. And that is pretty accurate.
You're very close to Donald Trump, and you're what everyone would call a straight shooter. So give it to us straight. Should Donald Trump get back on message?
Well, bear in mind that the Democrats only have one way that they can win, and that is to keep Donald Trump off message, to keep him talking about things that really don't matter and don't have a big impact on our country, and to make this into a personality battle. That one they figure they may possibly be able to win. There's no way they can win on the economy. When we have $20 trillion, almost a $20 trillion debt, just huge fiscal gap. We have all these things going on with ISIS and terrorist groups. We have educational woes. I mean, the number of problems for which Donald Trump has some very good solutions, because we've discussed these things, but he never seems to quite get to those because he gets caught up with these other things. It's entrapment. I think he's coming to understand that. And I'm very hopeful that you're going to see him pivoting when they try to trap him into talking about these silly things, coming back to the real issues again.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of this happens when he's on a one-on-one interview with more of these progressive media types, and they just sort of kind of bait him in there. And I think it's that New Yorker. I got to tell you, I'm like that too. It's sort of a New York and knee-jerk thing. We fight
yeah, you have to respond
later. You know, if we feel like you've disrespected us, but it is a trap. And they
but believe me, I understand it.
Look, guys, when it comes down to like how the media specifically treats Donald Trump, it's intriguing. This video definitely does not seem like it is a super recent video here, oddly, but this was sent in, so we're going to go ahead and talk about it here. Just pay attention to how the media spins every single thing that he says here. Like, he can definitely say the sky is blue today, and they're going to go ahead and make up saying something like, I don't know, the Democrat Party represents the blue side, so what are you trying to say here, guys? Are you trying to say that the sky is terrible because we're blue and you don't like us by default? There are not many rebuttals whenever he has anything to say kind of about the benefit of the United States of America. They just pick off of the one thing here. I don't like how he said it, so it's wrong. That's it.
I understand it because, you know, as a teenager, I was like that. And that's how I got in so much trouble. And I was going after people with things. Everybody knows about the knifing incident, which was 100% true.
What happened?
But I eventually learned that to react, to lash out, was actually not a sign of strength. It was a sign of weakness. To be able to pass over the incident and move on, that's the sign of real strength.
Well, Dr. Carson, I know you must be frustrated. Certainly we're hearing of reports of serious frustration within the party, particularly in the last 24 hours. Donald Trump so far withholding his endorsement for Paul Ryan, John McCain, and of course some of the things he said about Kelly Ayotte, who I understand has not been on the Trump train, but you know, he's been kind of tough with all of them.
Well, you know, he does recognize the necessity for party unity. You know, if the party comes together, particularly some of the people who sat on their hands last time, the evangelicals, there is nothing, I mean absolutely nothing, that the Democrats can do, that the progressives can do. But if they can keep us divided and at each other's throats, then they have a chance, and that's what they're trying to do.
Right. The poll out a couple days ago showed conservative support for Donald Trump at 64%, significantly below what we saw from Mitt Romney, John McCain. So he's bringing in all these blue-collar Reagan Democrats. He's got the evangelicals, and he's got a lot of people who weren't even interested in voting before. He's built this amazing new tent, but that core tent may not be there for him. How does he mend these things?
Well, I think that the main way that he mends them, again, don't take the bait, and to get back to the real issues, the things that Americans are concerned about. Because quite frankly, the things that threaten us as a nation, they're not Republican or Democrat issues. They are American issues. And they're the things that keep people awake at nighttime.
Definitely.
If he can begin to talk about those in a very powerful and consistent way and just say, look, I'm tempted to go there when they ask him these questions. You know, every fiber in my body wants me to go there and attack and give you something to talk about. But you know what?
Right.
Let's talk about what's important.
It's not beneficial.
Let's talk about what America needs to get back on the right track.
The Democrats' arguments generally tend to fall immediately once you realize that it's all about removing accountability from the person that has done something. Understand this here. That seems to be 90% of their arguments, and the other half is, I don't like what Donald Trump said, so that means kind of by default, it's bad. It hurts my feelings. Right. Now, understand in the same breath, I'm not saying that the Republican Party is not as emotional, but under different circumstances. Let's just say this year. But it does definitely, in fact, feel as if the left, current day, only cares about removing accountability from people. The lack of accountability party is what I call them. And I will not stop calling them that, okay? Until I realize that you're trying to hold people accountable for their actions. Think about this here. Illegal immigrants, he broke into this country. It's time for them to go. But wait a second. We can't hold them accountable for the action of breaking into the country. They have to stay. I grew up in an area. This area here is crime infested. So all I've learned in my life specifically was to live a life of crime, etc. Who knows here, right? We can't hold these people accountable for committing crimes. Their environment created it. Broke accountability, my guys. Okay. Oh, I chose not to finish high school or go to college or do anything to further myself in terms of education here. So that means that by default, I'm going to have a job, not all the time here, but I'm going to have a job that is going to be less paying than of the other people that worked really hard to get to the point where they either owned a business, right? Or they educated themselves out of that situation. Okay. Understand this here. So now we need to punish the people who made it out and by raising their taxes to pay for the people who chose not to do nothing in comparison. In the grand scheme of things. Okay? Guys, and understand, I am not talking about people under the age of 18 or senior citizens, okay? Or people that have any type of ailment that has legitimately stopped them. And I mean like a legitimate ailment, not you ate yourself to the point where you can no longer work. I'm not talking about that, bro. That's not it. Self-inflicted problems are your problems and no one else's. I think that's fair. But of course, the Democrat Party basically dictates that you cannot, under any circumstance, hold anyone accountable for their action. Look at all of the things that they're generally pushing. It is all about removing the accountability from a person that has created the situation that they are currently in. So when Trump basically speaks here, he's speaking in a super callous, in-your-face New Yorker type of thing here. Understand this here. I understand it because I am, in fact, a New Yorker, born and raised here. All right. Everything about me is basically New York. All right. From like how I deal with situations and respond to things for the most part are from New York here. It gets me in trouble all the time on the internet because, again, I talk crazy, my boys, and like the 4 girls who are here watching my channel. Welcome. Moral of the story here, guys. Trump, in fact, does need to learn immediately how to stop walking into the traps here. But also at the same time, I don't think that he cares. OK. At all here. His policies are sound. I look at the Democrats' policies and I'm like, oh, you're going to raise my taxes for more government entitlements? Again, to remove accountability? Oh, okay. Okay, that's basically it, right? You want to raise my taxes so I pay more money for what reason? Why? I don't want to do that. And at all. That's not my thing here, guys. And that's it, right? While Trump is like, oh, we need to build businesses. We need to build infrastructure. We need to build this, and this, while finding the ability to lower corporate taxes. Thank you. Shake hands on that. That means growth, my guys, all right? You guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly here, okay? If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. Seriously, subscribe, guys. Hang around for a while, seriously. But either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.